My name is Leland Smith, and I'm the CEO of SolidHires, and I'm also a 22-year retired Army veteran. The purpose of this video today is for us to go over the difference between the SolidHires military and military spouse career and hiring expos and all the other organizations that actually go about hosting these types of events as well. First of all, I'd like to preface by saying there's no such thing as a bad veteran event, because any event that offers an opportunity for a veteran is a great event. But we're going to talk about the difference that we have found, and also the reasons why we started our organization is to make sure that we can provide something that's better. Nothing bad, but there's definitely better. If you look at the photos here, you will see on the right hand side, that's your typical veteran job fair. The ones that are promoted for 8 to 10 months, the semi-annual or annual events where all the resources are pooled for these grand events. And it's great. It looks good on TV. The building is full. There's long lines. But when you look at it from the veteran's perspective, all that means for them is standing in long lines, being in a noisy location where you can't converse properly. There's no one-on-one time because you're simply standing in line just to get up to the front after maybe 20-30 minutes and hand them a resume, which they turn around and put on their chair. And I can speak to this, being a veteran and being at these events, that's what you find. There are typically no resources found at those events, and that's something that the veterans need. The reason I know this, and this is job seekers in general, is because you see the same exact people at event to event to event. And sometimes I'm in different areas of the same state, and you see these people still attempting to find the jobs they deserve. So when you see this, it makes you think, what is the missing piece? Of course, 9 times out of 10, it's not the job shortage. There are jobs out there. But the military community and their spouses, they need resources. If they're not provided with resources to make sure that they're prepared for the jobs, then they're continuously going from event to event and wondering what's happening. So what we like to do is focus in on those skills. That's why we provide at every single event training on personal branding, training on social media for job seekers. We intentionally keep our job fairs to a lower level when it comes to employers. We typically have around 25-30 employers, just so we can give the career seekers the ample time to network, which we really put an emphasis on, and really ask those employers and those hiring managers how they can go about getting better, looking over their resumes. We make it a team effort, providing more options when it comes to the veterans, because there's a lot of challenges that they face. So you have to bring in veteran-specific options as well, in addition to the employers. And just overall, just more interaction time with the resources, the employers. They need this because that really is the biggest takeaway from attending a hiring event, is the networking aspect. Check out this video.
Of course, anyone in a war zone dreams of coming home in one piece, but as CBS News correspondent Benny Nguyen reports, these Afghanistan veterans are returning to a civilian job market that holds little promise for them.
The combat was hard at times, but there wasn't a lot of it. You know, sometimes you'd go a month without any of it, and that was fine. Those were the good months.
For Jason Stam, a Marine rifleman who fought through 2 tours in Afghanistan, it was the lull between battles he'd look forward to. Now home 6 months, the 23-year-old war veteran is married, unemployed, and growing impatient with that lull in the current job market.
Come home from the Marine Corps, and it's scary. as a young kid with a wife.
It's a fear facing many of America's young veterans. The unemployment rate of Iraq and Afghanistan-era vets jumped to 12.1% in May, up from 10.9% in April. That is 3 points above the national average, leaving 232,000 veterans without work.
The unemployment situation for new veterans is quite serious.
Tom Tarantino is with Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. He says much of the unemployment among veterans has to do with military jobs that don't easily translate into civilian work when a soldier returns home.
If you are a medic with 10 years of experience, you're going to get out of the military, and in most states you can't even drive an ambulance.
Washington is trying to help by introducing bills like the Hiring Heroes Act of 2011.
Anything you want to add for your military experience?
Of course, job counseling services are available now, and Jason Stem has been turning up at this veteran outreach program several times a week.
You come to a place like this and they make you realize you'll make it. You will succeed.
It's a plan for success veteran advocates say will work only when corporations are willing to hire more of those who served.
This is about educating corporate America about the value of military service and what those skills can do for their company.
Betty Nguyen, CBS News, New York.
So the takeaway from this is the fact that we have to work on those soft skills. We have to work on that transition. As you see on this slide, these folks need solutions. They deserve more than a business card. At SolidHires, our events focus on the skills our veterans need to compete in a tough economy. It's great to have all the employers there, but if they're not qualified or not quite ready when it comes to the interview process or the 30-second commercial, then what good is it to have the best employers in the nation attend that event? So we help them along with Welcome Home Resumes, who provides an interactive resume for absolutely free to all veterans and their family members. There's no other service out there that provides a free resume. There's people out there charging veterans and our military folks $125 for a cover sheet for a resume, or $250 for a resume that is not even guaranteed to find them any employment. So we bring in our team from Welcome Home Resumes that has this revolutionary interactive resume that they put together. Their founder is retired from Apple, and he is just all about doing what he can to assist the veterans. So what this all means is for the employers that work with us is that they get better applicants, and it's a better synergy at every one of our events. Difference number two, they want the time. The main thing these folks want is someone to take the time to sit down and just really talk to them, look at their resumes, give them advice, talk to them about if they need to improve their education. There are even organizations out there that will not allow educational institutions to come into their hiring events. And my challenge to them is, do you have your degree? That's the question I have for you. This is very critical when it comes to these young men and women and their families finding the job they deserve. Some of them need to go back to school and maybe complete a degree. Some may need to go and receive technical training. Let's for once not think about what we think they deserve and start thinking about what they deserve. For employers that choose to take advantage, we provide private seminars and briefing time with interested job seekers, so they have even more time to sit down and discuss their options with them and maybe assist them with a particular skill set. So we make sure that it's a team event, and we also make sure they're not crowded events. As I mentioned earlier, we do not allow an excess of employees just to have a big show. We want to make sure that they're getting something out of the event. Difference number three, you have to bring the events to them. It's great that we have these large military-focused events once every 6 months, once a year in the big cities like Atlanta's and the New York's and the Washington, D.C.'s. But the thing is, unfortunately, veterans live everywhere. They're in small town USA, all the way to the larger cities. In order to assist as many as possible, you have to go to the areas where they live and serve. Take the events to them. We host events near military bases, near large veteran populations based on demographics, at reserve units, guard units, however it takes for us to get in front of them and bring the events to them in different areas of the Southeast. We make it happen. Difference number 4, one-stop resources. These folks are frustrated. They've been out here trying to find employment and getting a runaround. How great is it to have all the resources provided in one spot? So when you come in with you and your spouse, both of the services that you both are looking for are right there in the same location. Whether one of you really needs to focus on your resume, one of you may be looking at getting another degree, one of you may need to sit down and talk to the veteran rep. All those services and resources are provided, and not just in one big event a year, but in every single event that SolidHires hosts. You will find all these services in one location, along with our different workshops and seminars. Difference number 5, after the event, and this is huge. We follow up with our veterans and employers after the event. It's great. You can have the best event ever for military and their spouses, but if you leave town next week and they can't reach you and talk to you personally on the phone and ask you what should they do now or what's the next piece, then it's all for naught. One of the things we pride ourselves on is getting on the phone, taking these personal calls with myself, my wife. The same thing goes with the team from Welcome Home Resumes. We speak to these folks personally, and we answer the emails ourselves. We don't have a staff that takes care of those things because that's the attention they deserve. Is it a lot of work? Yes, but guess what? It's well worth it in the end. Every single event, we have people coming up to us, thanking us for bringing this comprehensive event to their communities. Most of the time, we end up staying an hour or two past the time that we were normally scheduled to be there. We hear that on a constant basis. Our high level of customer satisfaction comes from our veteran job seekers, our employers, and resource providers alike. We believe ultimately we all should have the same goals. So in the end, we talk about the total package and what our employers receive by working with us. Time to interact the right way. Always a great atmosphere. Matter of fact, we start off every single event with the national anthem to get everybody in the right mindset. The ability to have private briefing and seminar time. That's very important because sometimes in order to have that great conversation or that interview, you need to have that time alone with that individual to talk about things the right way. Job boards and listings. We believe in allowing our employer partners to show all their jobs that they have available and have those listed where our veterans and their spouses can find them easily. We create an atmosphere that develops real relationships with veterans in the region. We don't just ask our employers to set up a table, hand out a business card, and a handshake. We ask them to become involved, to participate in our military spouse only events by conducting these seminars and workshops on financial planning, personal branding, and so forth. So they become a part of that initiative. The employers become a true part of the military community because they expect to see you, not just at one event, not just with your banner up flying high as a sponsor, but when you actually participate and they become accustomed to seeing you at a SolidHires event. That adds value. You can source from a group of the best career seekers available. If you work with these individuals and you help them achieve the level of success that they're seeking, you will have a great employer, I should say a great employee on your hand. You get to associate your name not only with hiring, but also helping vets through their tough transition. They need your help. And then we have the most flexibility, the pricing options in the industry for your event experience and participation. We just are asking for enough to keep our organization going, to get us to where we need to go, and to make this happen on a consistent basis for our veterans and their spouses, because that's what they deserve. If you think they deserve the same, we hope that you will contact us at 404-913-0592. You can find us on the web at www.solidhires.com. And we're also on Facebook at SolidHires and Twitter at SolidHires. Thank you for your time. Remember, in the assistance of veterans and their spouses in finding employment, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Let's roll up the sleeves and make it happen. Thank you.